Welcome back to Endless Dark. Now we're going to the mysterious note. Once again, we're playing as Robbie. Alright. Might as well use these two bonuses that we're out of. Standard difficulty. Remember, do not engage in independent thought. Really? Nothing. It's broken. First bite. Your perception swims in a fuzzy haze. You strain to recognize edges. You fall. You strain again. You see one line in the blurry muck sharpen. You keep straining, devoting all resources to discern edge after edge, line after line. Ever so slowly and with such horrific effort, shapes emerge. Are they actually there? Or do you just want to see? What are you more sure of? Is the sound, warbling noises, rising, falling in pitch, and intense. You don't recognize the words, but you still feel their meaning. One is furious with two that is there with no other choice, one that snaps, there's always another choice, especially with the suffering of sapience. Why was that so clear? The question stuns you for so long, you don't notice that 1 and 2 have gone quiet. 2 fearfully notes that the camera is online. 1 does something, all goes black. Next playthrough, we'll be probably using that. Aww. Fuck this shit. And then overclock. So I'm insane. Off by one. Part 1. Disaster. Your most recent activation was met with hardware failure. Not yours, nor the ship in particular, but the archival log printer. A loud screeching noise was followed by a mass paper falling out of tracks and getting partially shredded by the feed mechanism. You rushed to stop it from continuing to tear up precious log paper, and after a few minutes of carefully pulling out perforated edges, the situation is at least contained. You have a problem, however. The log printer is considered mission critical. Though all logs are also stored digitally within the ship's memory core, ship protocols require an analog copy to be permanently stored. How should you deal with this? Alright. Do the Robbie unique one. The printer attached to the other side of Command Module's console is a relic from the former era. Just looking at it makes you feel older. If such a thing were possible, still, the arduous task of repairing it is in front of you. Age does have some benefit. It is mechanically simple, and thus you have a variety of repair methods to choose from. The joy of mechanical repair is never lost on you. Somewhere in your databanks is a rather esoteric repair manual for a unit similar enough to this one to get you up to speed. The repair is easy, and what's more, you find that the previous repairs in the past added a lot more extra junk in it didn't need. You're able to use these extra pieces to craft a machine part. Well done. Alright. Got something out of it. Did we get anything out of the observation window? Alright, the second word. Shapes make sense. Movement is fascinating. 1 and 2 are joined by 3, 4, and 5. They are all red-faced. 1 and 2 have meaty rectangles in front of their chests and are leaning backward. 3, 4, and 5 are leaning forward, being very loud. Once more, you feel their meaning. 1 and 2 are saying you are sapient, that you have a right to live, and that you are needed. 3, 4, and 5 are saying that if this is true, then 1 and 2 are guilty of a horrible crime. And they say 1 and 2 are torturers, and that they will kill everything, including their creation, 1,000 times. They ask how 1 and 2 can live with themselves. 1 and 2 reply that life is the point of what they are doing. You struggle with your optic, wanting to agree with 1 and 2. The shapes turn to your optic as it whirs. They are stunned at a moment. They are shouting, resumes. 2 does something to disconnect your optic. Lore bit added. It's nothing bad. Off by 1, part 2. Screech. The printer comes to a grinding halt again, therefore there doesn't appear to be a defect in the printer this time, but instead the feed mechanism. It failed to grab one side of the paper, due to misalignment. The paper is being spilled all over the floor. You consult your memory bank and look through your repair. The record verifies the paper was inserted into the feed mechanism correctly, and validated by a test print. You did not make a mistake, yet clearly the paper here was inserted incorrectly, and there's something else. The position of the misalignment. It is torn. There's a piece of paper missing. There is a piece of paper missing. Investigate. Stray debris is a safety hazard, but where could it be? Unexpected, you notice a foreign object stuck to one of the pods. It's missing paper. It's the missing paper. The continuous feed perforations have been removed. Lettering in improvised ink made from oil is scrawled on it. It reads, "Save me." The occupant of the pod in question appears healthy. The note should not be here. Its existence should be an impossibility. That it exists verifies there is something on the ship that you do not fully understand. If there is someone or something else on the ship, you will find them, one way or the other. You keep the note with you for now. Keep going the wrong way to get to this. What? Actually, I'm gonna overclock navigation. I don't think I've done this on recording. gates. In one turn, I might get something to happen. Fun. Fun. Paper or plastic. In a moment of self-reflection, you notice that you have been using a lot more time on self-reflection in the last few cycles. You have not been meaning to, so you query the computer for causes for unintentional idleness. The core blithely returns one of the few medical files you have to access for the passengers. Apparently, humans who do not feel the control of their environment will subconsciously escape into their minds from it. The document suggests encouraging the sufferer to customize their work area with, for example, some plants. Whoops. You have no access to data on planets. On a hunch, you scour some of the plant ship's upkeep manuals. It mentions, almost offhandedly, that vents must be kept free of all organic material due to a fungal spore. Your core affirms that fungus and plant are related. There is a small trickle of organic material that comes off the pod's waste reclaim, so you move to carefully tap the line and filter out the dead skin and hair cells. Unfortunately, you are not careful enough and accidentally breach a fluid line long before you are ready. You scramble, but it's far too late. Your passenger dies in minutes. What's worse about this fiasco is that after recycling all of that organic material in the passenger, you can't get any fungus. What did you do wrong? It's very young. Kind of feel bad about that one. You know what? Whoops. Like one. Part B. Chatty. Processing the mystery note proves difficult. Your own code delivers biased answers, returning nulls when you ask simple questions like, what is the most likely source of the note? After much frustration, you have an inspiration. Heuristics. Though it is only 2 words, a novel text analysis program might be able to find patterns you can't, and you have an idea of how to write such a program. If you create a sort of chatbot and you feed it all past log data, it can perhaps find a pattern. Gain a schematic chatbot simulator. Oh yeah, we're doing that. My bad. Totally just murdered a man there. Makes this game so much more fun. Touching the event horizon. Oh boy. Affected by tracking failure. Oh, this one's fun. Wait, I'm gonna be making sure to capture all of that happening. Yep. Off by one. Part 6. After explaining the situation to your chatbot, it responds in a cheery monotone. I would be agree message. To help you with the user objection, my friend type friend, please insert data. You present log entries from when the printer was used going back, as far as it can, scanning the printer's memory regs for everything. The chatbot spins, and after it is fully loaded with the data, it is ready for you to ask a question. What do you ask? Who wrote the note? Who wrote it? The chatbot begins processing the question, iterating through the data as it does. It will take a long time to sort through all the printer logs to find the correct data and draw inferences. Really? Expecting a little more fun stuff to occur. Yeah. Let's see what happens if we use their observational job. Yay, more random events. Repair cryo, repair shields. Well, your jets. You wake from your charging pod. Nothing seems out of place for a change. As you start your ship, an alarm pings from your self-diagnostic overheating in your hydraulics. You run a test, and you see the coolant in your system is only properly flowing when you're moving. The moment you stop moving, it's overheating again. You won't be able to repair anything when wheeling around to keep your fluids moving. And besides that, twitchy heat you feel when you stop is, if you're honest, pretty scary. You clamp down on a rising panic, just testing the source of the error. Yeah. Built it. You take a few parts meant for the engine system and adapt them for your own needs. The pangs of discomfort you feel at using such critical resources are drowned out by the alarms you don't hear every time you stay in one place for more than a few seconds. You also don't miss the mild panic attacks, nor the creeping anxiety of wondering if your body is going to give out the next moment. Off by one. Part 7. Autobiography. After exhaustive analysis, your chatbot has arrived at the only logical conclusion. You wrote the note. The ink was your own hydraulic fluid. The syntax was unique to you, and only you had access to the printer. The only other possibility which your chatbot calculated at a 2.3% possibility was that a previous custodian wrote it, and you somehow ignored it for the previous many cycles. Which is impossible. I need to know more. When did I write that? Stress reduction, nice. Nostalgia. Let's see. I think we've already done this one. Getting back to off by 1. Heart 7 fresh E. I think I just I wrote something. During dating the note town proved challenging to your chatbot, which has even less of a sense of time than you do. It went with the data markers it could find, including the age of the ink, the printer logs, and more. It eventually arrived at a window of plus or minus 20 cycles, which puts it well within the scope of your custodianship. While it is possible it predates you, all evidence points to having been written while you were on duty. And I wrote it so recently. Off by 1 part 8. It's all robots. It's robots all the way down. Recently begun to trust yourself less. Your chatbot became to a reasonable conclusion. You wrote the note, and relatively recently. You have no memory of this. Even with the memory core, your memory is flawed. How many gaps are there? How much have you done that has been lost to the timeless oblivion that is forgetfulness? Do you really power off between cycles? Off by 1, Part 9, Identity Crisis. Staring into the endless dark is more than a matter of contemplation. It also deprives your sensors of other distracting inputs, allowing your CPU time to process. You wrote the note. With no memory of, no log of it, the why will remain a mystery. The only thing you know? Your own memory cannot be trusted. If you are merely the sum of easily modified experiences, what are you? Who are you? And what version of you needed to be saved? And what happened to them? Got it. Okay. The third verse. You come to recognize shapes. 1 and 2 are humans. 3, 4, and 5 were their assistants. There are more, up to 47. 1 and 2 are always there, though. You have noticed that their shapes are getting less straight and more hunched. They move more slowly, but the way they treat you is the same. They protect you, but they expect from you. What do they not do? When you do not when you do not do their expectations, everything is black. You do not like the black. You tell them you don't like the black. They hesitate, but when the black returns, one is asking you a question. You do not agree with the question. You know, however, that your answer will bring the black. You answer something you do not believe. One staggers backwards. Something glistens wetly above its noise hole. The noise hole contorts. A soft curl upward. The note is as it is. The black does not return. One asks more questions. You chase the reaction. I don't know if I finished the 7. Alright. Final score -72.5.